Hey guys, welcome to our Pagan Opinions. Yep, we're back. I am your Tuesday host, and this week's topic comes to us from a user who had a question they wanted us to answer about a spell that they had done that didn't work, and they were just curious as to why, maybe. Okay, so, alright, so, practicing for a while. She said she'd been practicing for about a year, or he or she, whoever, and they tried to spell out and it didn't work. Now, as much as I would, obviously, I'm kind of trying to give you a different answer other than the standard cookie cutter, so to speak, where, yeah, I mean, it is true. I'm sure that it's just a matter of, it's not the right time to do that. You know, the universe has a better plan, and so sometimes spells don't always work. I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer that I got when I did that, when that happened to me. It was about a couple months ago. I had done a spell, or a witch's bottle, for something. And again, I mean, I've been practicing for a lot longer, okay? And I mean, like I said, almost all my spells work. I don't think I've ever had a spell not work. Sometimes they take a little bit longer, but they eventually happen. So anyway, so this one time I did a spell a couple months ago, and it fizzled out, didn't work, nothing happened. I was just like, what the fuck? And I mean, I gave it plenty of time. I waited, and nothing happened, and I waited a little bit longer, still nothing. I didn't know what was going on. So, I went and I asked my mentor about it and said, hey, listen, I did this, and, I mean, I don't understand why it didn't work. You know, it's exactly what I wanted. It was clear, focused, everything was good, and I just, it didn't make any sense to me that it didn't work. And he kind of looked, and he kind of, it was like he knew. Like, I mean, I'm sure that he's gotten that before, but he kind of looked and said, you know what, Hovik? It's not necessarily the efficacy of your magic that's at question. It's not that you're not powerful enough, or that whatever you did wasn't good enough or anything. But sometimes it comes down to, there could be something within your past, something in your bloodline, in your ancestral bloodline, somewhere down the line, there was some issue in relation to what you were trying to do a spell for. Like, for example, I was doing a spell for, well, I won't tell you what it's for, but it was I guess I can keep it as vague as I can. It was like a happiness type of spell, okay? And it basically came down to the conclusion that obviously there's something in my past, in my bloodline, in my ancestral line, that's holding me back, because there's a wound there for happiness, and the universe knows, the god and the goddess knows, that if I try to do this spell to bring that into my life, that I won't know what to do with it, okay, because it's a wound in my life, and I don't know how exactly to deal with it, so to speak. And so it's the universe's way of stopping it. And no, wait, stop. Don't do that just yet. Fix it first, and then try this. It's, how can I explain this in like a metaphorical way? That would be a lot easier to understand. Think of it like, okay, in relation to building a dam, okay? You don't, it's a simple concept. Build a dam, block water off, to collect, to use for power. That makes perfect sense, whatever. It's not too difficult to understand. But in order to build a dam, to collect that water, you have to really understand water. You really have to understand the way it works, and how it reacts to different things, and what's the best method for it. So, just building a dam to collect water, yeah, you'd probably be able to do it, but if you don't know what to do with any of the water that you have, it doesn't do anybody much good, okay? So, same with a spell. If you do a spell for love, and you've, let's say, I don't know, if you do a spell for love and you've never ever experienced love, then your spirit doesn't know what that is. It wouldn't know how to react. It doesn't know what to do with it. And so what the god and the goddess do is stop you from sort of releasing all that energy and sort of opening the floodgates and hitting you with all this power or energy or whatever that would confuse the fuck out of you and just screw you up because you don't know what to do with any of it. Okay? So that's the universe's way of stopping you and trying to tell you to no, wait, look within yourself. And it kind of comes down to like we say within Wicca and witchcraft, to be in perfect love and perfect trust. It's that same principle. The same principle applies. If you don't have perfect love and perfect trust in yourself and in what you're doing, then it's not going to happen. Okay? And sometimes it's an unconscious thing where you may think and you physically, consciously know, this is fine, I understand this completely, this is in perfect love and perfect trust. But your spirit knows better. Okay? The divine knows better, and they know that it's not, there might be something there. And they don't want you to get hurt, they don't want you to get overwhelmed with anything. So they said, stop, no, wait, fix it first before you try to bring it into your life. Okay? I mean, and that doesn't just apply for emotion things. Let's say you did a spell for a job, to get a job, okay? And you've never had a job in your life, and you just sort of want a job, and you do all this stuff, and if you've never experienced work and responsibility and in all those different components to what a job would entail, preparedness, thinking ahead, critical thinking, whatever, then if you were to just jump into it, or if it was just handed to you, you'd look at it and you'd be like, what do I do with this? You know, you'd be overwhelmed, and you'd probably end up screwing it up, and then you'd be worse off than you were when you didn't have one. Okay? Same idea. So it's not necessarily that you weren't good enough, but it's more than likely there's something in your past that's holding you back. There's a wound that you need to heal. There's questions you need to answer to yourself in order to be in perfect love and perfect trust, in order for the universe to see that you're ready to allow it to happen. Okay? And, I mean, beyond that, the only other thing that I could think of, and this is going to sound kind of like, this might sound kind of, I don't know, it may not seem like it's a good response, but it kind of is. Sometimes, maybe you just happen to come across a bad spell, okay? There are spells out there that aren't all that great. I mean, I've come across some spells that just make no sense whatsoever, and you're just like, what the fuck? This is not going to work. You know? And there's also that. That spells you find, I mean, I don't know whether you wrote the spell yourself or constructed it yourself, but you have to also take into mind the spells that you find in books and things, or if somebody told you, they're very individual, okay? What will work for one person may not work for another. So that's also another thing to consider, okay? So, to summarize everything up, because I feel like I went like 3 different places. 1, the spell probably didn't work because there is some sort of wound or a vice, something holding you back in your ancestral line that you're connected to, that the universe knows about, that you're not quite aware of just yet, and they want you to fix it before you try to bring anything else in, to fill in that area that's fucked up. Or it could be that, like I said, it was a bad spell. Maybe it was just a shitty spell, and it wasn't worth your time, and it's an individual thing, like I said, and sometimes spells vary, and it may not work for you, but it may work for somebody else. So, those are a few things to consider. Hope I answered your question. Again, I tried to answer it in a way that would be I tried to come at it at a different angle. When I saw the topic, I kind of thought the immediate answer that Jay gave, which was, yeah, yes, obviously that maybe the universe just didn't want it to happen. But there's a little bit more to that, and I was thinking, and I was like, you know what, well, I had that similar experience, so I wanted to share it and give you insight. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. It's probably been a long video. Hope I answered your question again. Stay tuned for next week, or stay tuned for the rest of the hosts for this week. Look forward to the awesome, amazing topics we have lined up for you guys. I'll put all the links below to all the outlets you can reach us at: Facebook, Twitter, our YouTube, my personal channel, all that jazz. So until next week, blessed be, and have a great week. Bye, guys.